Larry Bird versus LeBron James, the debate heard round the world. If you talk to anyone in my generation, they're gonna say LeBron the best. He is the best small forward of all time, not even close. He's better than Jordan. Everyone is not even debating whether Larry Bird is on LeBron's level. I think it's very presumptuous because I've seen some Larry Bird clips and this man's no joke. So the fact that they're just saying he's the best small forward of all time without even recognizing Bird's greatness and how he might be better than LeBron, I don't know. I don't like the road we're heading down. But yeah, this is the best Larry Bird versus LeBron story ever told. So why don't we just dive into it, all right? Let's do it.
The book titled When the Game Was Ours, written by Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan shared his 100% honest opinion about Larry Bird. He said, "People ask me all the time who my top 5 players are, and when I start saying Larry, they interrupt me. They say, 'You've got to be kidding me. He can't play with LeBron James.' I tell them, 'You guys don't get it. Larry is far better than any small forward who played the game.'" Now, the lazy person would chalk that statement up to Michael Jordan being a LeBron hater.
He's not even looking at the... I think he was looking at Michael Jordan.
I was thinking the same thing.
Michael Jordan's a little left of that Charlotte bench. I think that was a look at Michael like...
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what he was looking
at him.
But not too long ago, this was common knowledge.
If you give me both these guys and you say you can start your team with either Larry Bird or LeBron James,
you taking LeBron.
I'm taking Larry Bird and I'm taking my chances. Thank you very much.
You know why?
Larry Bird was the baddest son of a gun on the planet in a league with Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Dr. J. He was the best player in the world when the NBA was at a greater level.
In the world.
It ain't the same NBA. This sucker won 3 straight MVPs.
Let me ask you this. Would
Magic couldn't get through him at one point.
the best player in the world right now?
I believe he would.
Oh, he'd be better than Kevin Durant.
I believe he would. Yes,
no, he would.
I believe he would.
No, he wouldn't. Okay.
Larry Bird, if his back didn't give out on him, if he didn't have surgery, if his body didn't fail him, we're having a whole different conversation about Larry Legend. I'm sorry. He had it all.
So, Larry Bird or LeBron James? And for the record, if you ask me who I'd take over 20 years, I'd take LeBron. But if you ask me who I'd take for one season, it gets very interesting. Because I'd take a 1986 Larry Bird season over any single season performance from any player that ever lived. And if you ask me who I'd take for one game, or better yet, one shot, well, I'll let someone who actually lived through the Bird era tell you what they think.
That's the thing.
All I know is
if you're
one
saying
game
like
from my
LeBron, his career versus Larry Bird's career, statistically, it's not even a comparison because LeBron played for so long and he was so durable. But they're not saying that. They're saying one season. Larry Bird, he was breaking his back in the offseason doing manual labor. You think you're going to catch a player doing that today? Absolutely not.
life, I want Larry Joe Bird taking my last shot. That guy from French Lick, Indiana. Game on the line, free throw, 3, jump shot, whatever it was. I'll take Larry Bird any day or any night over especially LeBron James.
Now, if you're still a Larry Legend denier, I'm about to tell you how one shot changed the course of history, helped rewrite the narrative of an entire generation, and almost made Larry Bird the undisputed greatest of all time. Now, time and time again, Larry Bird came up clutch in the biggest situations.
Max looking, loops it to Bird, a runner.
Oh my. Why are all 5 guys not on Bird? You know what's going to him.
The Celtics win it. 103 to 101. A three-pointer by Larry Bird at the buzzer.
Danny Ainge to inbounds for the Celtics, trailing by 1.
No, but honestly, I would triple team this guy. Last second shot.
Yes! And the Celtics win! Unbelievable! Larry Bird!
You have to make someone else beat you.
So in the 1987 NBA Finals versus the Lakers, when Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics were trying to repeat as NBA champions, Celtic Nation came to expect it. And in Game 4 at the Boston Garden, with the Celtics down 2-1 in the series, the game came down to the wire.
Boston 4, LA 2.
Oh, that's cold. That's smooth.
5 now, and they almost tied up Harris, and they lose it. Cooper, it's a 3-on-3 break. Cooper with a 3, and hits it with a minute and a half to go, a long time ago. Kareem.
That just seemed like it'd be the best series to watch.
Jumping for joy, and they lead it 104 to 103, and another timeout called by Casey Jones.
And coming out of a timeout, Larry Bird, as confident as ever, tells his defender, James Worthy, exactly what he's going to do to him.
He would come out of a timeout. I remember this one time. You might have heard this before because he did it with a lot of people. I had to guard him. You know the player's coming, but he would tell you it's coming. With DJ handling, Mikhail's going to set up a pick for Robert. That's only to free him up to come and set a pick for me. And he says, if you trail, I'm going to trail into the lane to a little floater. He said, if you try to get over the top, he said, I'm going to pop to that corner and bust a jumper in your fucking face. I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm all up on him. You know, I got his shirt tail. I'm holding it. You know, I'm like, you know where I'm from. I'm from Gastonia. Man, we ain't talking. Sure enough, man. The ball comes in. DJ takes a couple of dribbles. I'm quick. I'm quick enough. I think I can get over the top. I get over the top. I get out there, but he pops to the corner, and I'm running. He kind of waiting, you know. Waiting. He was an asshole.
Bird goes for three. And the Lakers call time with 12 seconds.
That just brings trash talk to a whole nother level. Because it's not trash talk, you're just predicting the future.
Up by 2, Kareem comes down and gets fouled with 8 seconds left.
Yo, those Boston crowds are wild.
And misses the second.
And it's Lakers ball with 7 seconds to go.
One Celtic rebound could have sealed this game, but the ball goes out of bounds and the Lakers get the possession. And with 7 seconds to go, the Lakers still had life. Just 3 years earlier, in the 1984 finals versus the Celtics, Magic Johnson choked in a similar situation, earning the nickname Tragic Johnson. But this time, he was ready.
My man switched to Kareem, and Kevin McHale jumped out to me. As soon as I saw Kevin, I said, oh, I'm taking him.
You know, Magic puts it on the floor, a couple head and shoulder fakes, and he raised up in the air. And there was nobody that was going to get that shot.
Down by 1, with 2 seconds on the clock, Larry Bird and the Celtics find themselves in a situation they've been in many times before.
Johnson on the inbound. Bird fires it.
Freeze. What do you think happened?
Of course I forgot
now
one.
Let's
Are you
give this
kidding me?
shot some context. For 2 years straight, the Boston Celtics had the greatest home court advantage of all time. The prior year, in 1986, the Celtics finished with a regular season record of 40-1. This record still stands as the best regular season home record ever. Yes, better than Michael Jordan's 96 Bulls and better than Steph Curry's 2016 or 2017 Golden State Warriors.
Damn.
And if you include the playoffs, they were 50-1 at home. So for everyone who thinks the 96 Bulls and the 2017 Warriors are the 2 best teams of all time, at home, Larry Bird's 1986 Celtics were better. Let that sink in.
Someone asked me the other day, they said, it's the toughest arena you had to play in. And I said, Garden, Boston. I said, they were almost impossible to go in there and beat because you could not make a mistake with them. Those guys made you play, and it was him. Like, he was a savant on the court. Like, just a savant, like 2 plays ahead on everything. And so, please, let's not forget how hard it was to go into Boston and beat a team when Bird is in his prime.
Unfortunately, the Celtics fell off that following year in 1987. They were 39-2 at home. So including the playoffs, for the last 2 years, the Celtics were 99-4 at the Boston Garden.
That is
up
absurd.
until that shot by Bird. This means, statistically, there was a 96% chance that potential game-winning shot by Bird was going in. Now, what do you think happened?
Well, they set up a great play.
Would
Bird
you say that the Celtics were so dominant at home because of the crowd? Was it the crowd, or was it the fact that the role players just played more efficiently at home? Like, they didn't have to worry, you know? Because a lot of times when you're away, that's when the role players don't step up, and it's only the stars stepping up. So is it the role players stepping up, or is it the fact that the crowd was just such an intimidating force?
All the way up, forced the denial all the way up.
We've done it before. Clear everybody out, go to the ball, break to the corner.
Max looking, loops it to Bird.
2 seconds left. In the Bird, he fires. Yes! And the Celtics win!
Bird, a runner.
Okay, so he practiced the shot freaking millions of times.
And the Celtics win it!
It's on the inbound. Bird fires it.
He caught it here, and as he caught it, all he had to do was turn. He just turned, and he just let this thing go.
Bird fires it.
Got a wide open look, couldn't believe it.
And I'm standing right there. It is straight as an arrow.
Oh my.
And the Lakers have won in Pat Riley, and the Lakers dance off the court.
They were lucky because it was right on line.
He looked at me like, how did you ever leave me that wide open?
You gotta be kidding me. Changed the whole series.
Thought it was going in. Magic thought it was going in. Pat Riley thought it was going in.
Of course they thought it was going in. It's freaking Larry Bird taking a last second
that
shot.
Exact same shot in that exact same situation 10 times, he'd probably hit 9 of them.
He's got such
and if
an
Larry Bird
unorthodox
hits that shot,
too.
then the series is tied 2-2. And with the next game at the Boston Garden, there's no way you can convince me that this Celtic team, with the greatest home court advantage of all time, led by one of the most clutch players in NBA history, doesn't win that next home game. So instead of being down 3-2 going back to LA and losing those NBA finals, the Celtics would have been up 3-2. And with all of that momentum on the Celtics side, all they needed to do was win one game in LA to give Larry Bird his 4th title, add another Finals MVP to his collection, become the first team to win back-to-back titles since Bill Russell with the Celtics in the 60s, and silence all doubt on who won the Bird versus Magic rivalry.
Well, Russell won like 10 in a row.
Changed everything. And the conversation about the greatest player of all time would have been very different.
Larry Bird at his best, LeBron James at his best.
Oh, I gotta go with Larry Joe.
You take Larry Joe.
Larry Joe for the win.
When Reggie Miller said that, it was headline news the next day because the media fawns over LeBron James more than ever. But to many Larry Legend truthers, it wasn't a surprise at all.
Skip, Reggie would take Bird over LeBron. Do you concur?
Let me just say right now, I don't know what it is about the media, but it just seems that, like, if I turn on ESPN, everything is the best of all time right now. Right now, doesn't matter what the sport is, boxing, football, baseball. Let's talk about Brady, the best of all time. Everyone now is the best. Is it just because that makes headlines and that's what draws attention? Or do they actually believe that? I don't know. But it just seems like there's an agenda just to say LeBron is the best of all time.
In a hypothetical draft, would I take him over LeBron James to start my franchise? Yes, I would. And I don't think it's even close.
Now, you would think that Skip Bayless, as the ultimate contrarian, would be challenged by his co-host for such an opinion. However, this is one of the rare things that they 100% agreed on.
You know, in terms of leadership, in terms of clutch, in terms of shooting ability, and overall championship credentials, not just trophies, but a mentality, Larry Bird gets the nod over LeBron James.
I'm guessing that right now about 80% of our viewing audience does not agree with either one of us.
Well, all that means is that they don't know anybody.
They don't know.
I would love to pick LeBron, but in terms of clutch, money time, there's no contest. He's not even in Larry Bird's class. Not even close.
It's not even close. If you like stats, here's Larry Bird versus LeBron James season stats, while both are at the age of 30. Larry Bird averages more points, more rebounds, more assists, and has a higher field goal percentage. So when someone asks you, what is Larry Bird better at than LeBron? You can say pretty much everything.
Hold on, is he ahead of Larry Bird?
No.
No!
No.
What was Bird better at?
Bird's a better shooter. It's not close. I think Bird is as good or better as a passer, a much more fluid, much more natural passer than LeBron James, a creative passer. LeBron James, for a superstar, he's as good a passer as anyone outside of maybe Magic and Bird. Bird was a better passer. Bird's a better rebounder. The fact is that Larry Bird didn't stay healthy, and the fact is that basketball is played so differently now. When it comes down to the end of a game in a championship series, I would rather have Larry Bird have the basketball.
Well, duh. Is there any way on earth you would take LeBron James over Larry Bird in the clutch?
There's no way on earth that I'd pick him over Larry Bird in the clutch. I can tell you that much. Larry Bird was not just a superior shooter from anywhere.
If someone says otherwise, if someone says, "Oh, I would take LeBron taking the last second shot," you are just dumb skull. Like, what is wrong with you? Your brain is not functioning properly, because anyone with a brain could see that Larry Bird, that man was just cold. He shot the ball and he expected it to go in. Whereas when LeBron takes it, he hopes it goes in. That's a big difference when it goes to confidence and like your mentality when you're playing. Kobe had that same mentality. He takes shots, it's going in. It's going in. Steph Curry, same way. LeBron, I'm watching him late in the game. He just, sure, he wants it to go in, but he's hoping. He doesn't know for a fact it's going in. Bird does.
Was he a near 90% shooter from the free throw line, which LeBron could never brag about. But when you talk about money time, whether it's a particular juncture in the season where you're trying to position yourself for the playoffs, or you're talking about the last minutes of a game, or you're talking about the last shot in a game, or you're talking about a game 7, or you're talking about anything that indicates clutch, you simply can't pick LeBron over Larry Bird, because you can pick almost no one in NBA history over Larry Bird. When it was money time, you knew where the ball was going, and you also knew there was little to nothing that you could do about it. It was just a matter of whether or not Larry Bird was going to make it or miss it.
But even despite all of those numbers, to those who actually saw Larry Bird play, the eye test is all they need.
I know there are other numbers that will support you on LeBron. I may lose this, but you know what? I'm going with these, all 4 of them. And I watched that dude dominate an era that has some of the greatest players of all time playing. And this isn't a diss on LeBron. I'm not dissing LeBron. I love LeBron. We both love LeBron. Everybody appreciates how great he was. But as time passes, it's easy to forget how great Larry Bird was.
So all of that said, right here, right now, Larry Bird remains the greatest small forward ever, period, end of story.
A lot of LeBron fans are going to see this video and be up in arms, furious. You're just haters. Quite contrary, it is the exact opposite. We appreciate LeBron, what he's able to do. You're just disrespecting Larry Bird. You don't know how great this man truly was. And I never got to see him live. I never got to see him in person. I'm only watching clips for the first time on YouTube with you guys. And what I'm seeing is just a guy that is playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers. He was doing whatever he freaking wanted on the court. It just seemed like the NBA at that time was such a much more physical and entertaining game than what it is today, where it's just chucking up threes, padding stats like crazy. Whereas back then, it seemed if you drove to the hole, you were getting a freaking elbow to the teeth, and you better be freaking ready. But after watching this video, I think it seals the deal in my mind. Larry Bird over LeBron any day of the week. It doesn't matter how many points LeBron scores in his career, how many rebounds he attains, because sure, he is a much more durable athlete. I'm not arguing that. But when it comes to one season, one game, one shot, there's no one I want more than Larry Bird right here. I'm kind of curious now, if you guys had to construct a starting 5 in the NBA that worked well together, you can't just stuff the 5 best scorers of each position on the same team. I want to know, like, chemistry-wise, who would be the most successful basketball team of all time? LeBron is definitely not my starting small forward. I'm going Bird, because that man, he was just so fluid and he just went with the flow and he was a straight up winner. Absolute G. How could you not love this dude? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what should I react to next. I'd be happy to do it. And take it easy, y'all. Till next time.